Welcome to Parenting911, the lived experience podcast where real parents share real stories.
All right, welcome to the Lived Wisdom podcast, where love, laughter, and learning come together in perfect harmony. I'm your host, Frizelma Lynn, the Parenting 911 superhero. I'm here to guide you through the beautiful, chaotic journey of life and then parenting, also with its highs and lows. Every family has a story. Sometimes it's a joyful symphony. Other times it's like a struggle just to find the right notes. But together, we'll explore the heartbeats of family life, sharing heartfelt stories and wisdom that resonate really deep within all of us. So pour yourself a cup of comfort and settle in. Let's heal. Let's learn. Let's grow together as we embrace the art of loving ourselves and our families. Now, I have a special guest here today. Her name is Dr. Samantha Santiago, and she is a dear friend of mine. I want to just welcome you, Dr. Sam, to
Thank
this
you.
platform. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we'll start it off this way. Tell us, now I do have a bio to read, but yeah, but we can just allow you to tell us about yourself. Um, Give us just a snippet about who you are, what you do, about life.
Okay, well, hello everyone. Again, thank you for having me. My name is Samantha Santiago, or Dr. Sam. I'm the founder of Confidence Faith, which is an interrelationship coaching and consulting business, and it focuses on internal and external conflicts and building spiritual and physical legacies. So, a little bit about myself is just I am someone who went through a lot of things and found that love truly heals. And so I have taken leaving God, alcohol addiction, biracial wounds, parental divorce, and low self-value, bundled it through the funnel of healing, and came out with this extraordinary understanding of life, love, and business through love. And that's what I'm here to share. And that's definitely pertaining to long relationships as well as parenting. And so I'm super excited to be able to share this with you today.
Wow, that was amazing. That was a mouthful. I'm glad I had you tell about yourself because that's not what's on my bio. Um, it was so much better. So, one of the things that a lot of people, I guess, don't realize or don't want to realize is that all of us have a story.
Yes.
Usually, when we see people, we think they have it all together. And we don't understand that there was a background. There was something that happened before we got where we are. And just listening to your story and how love was that healing factor. That in itself is amazing. So I'm going to ask you, that just leads me a whole different way. I'm going to ask you to tell us kind of what does love look like for you?
Whew. Okay. Love for me is a powerful tool. It is an emotional haven. It is a universal connector, as well as the one coveted holy grail that leads to compassion, understanding, and acceptance of ourselves, of a higher being, a bigger picture, and the world around. Love is truly that deep, and it's not as, I would say, vertical or horizontal as people would like to think. It is very vertical. It runs high and it runs low.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I love the universal connector, um, because the Bible tells us a lot about love. and how love allows us to look beyond the faults of another person. All of us have those faults, you know. So sometimes parents get caught up even in the faults of children and forget that we were once children. I remind parents that all the time. We
Yes.
were once children, and how we have to love our children, even ourselves, deeply enough that we can look beyond our faults, our mistakes, um, to see that good in us. And all of us have it. Yeah, some of us may be real small, tiny, but it's there. Um, so as you were talking, I wrote a little note and I said, we sometimes see what love is, but then sometimes we don't see what love isn't. So we have to think about love is not rude. It's not disrespectful, dishonoring. That's not love. And so oftentimes in our lives we do that to other people, even to our children. Um, and all of us know what it feels like. Now that's interesting that all of us know what it feels like when someone has been rude or dishonoring, has said something disheartening. Every one of us, we know what it feels like. However, we tend to still give that to our children. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to have any comments right there, or you want me to go to the next question?
No, I have a point. I think that a
Okay.
lot of people forget that when you have a child, you are going to at some point look at yourself again.
Ah,
And if you aren't ready to see yourself, those issues are going to one trigger you internally, which will then almost anger or sadden you, which will then affect the way that you treat your child.
absolutely.
And then if you don't deal with it on your own, it's like a constant reminder every time you see that child of a failure, of a disappointment, of something you feel like you should have done and you don't know how to fix it. And so if you are rude to your child, because sometimes you're just touched out for the day, sounded out, touched out, and you do snap back and you're just like, I can't deal with it. Please remember, you can always go back to your child and say, look, I'm sorry. I messed up. This is what should have happened. And I actually want to let you know that when I was a child, this happened to me.
Wow.
And so I want you to know that I do understand where you're coming from. And that
Oh, that's good.
that doesn't always mean that it's going to be weaponized against you. And as a parent, you have control over how it is used against you. So remember, you have that barrier to be vulnerable, but still in control.
Absolutely. Well, you said a point, but I picked up more than a point out of all of that. So I'm going to deal with the apologizing part first. I posted something just the other day, saying that parents must model how to apologize. That therefore they need to apologize to their children. I mean, all of us have made mistakes. As you said, all of us tap out or something at some point. You know, that's just a part of life. However, many of us don't want to go to the children to just say, that's on me. That one was on me. I apologize. I shouldn't have. I wish I hadn't. Give me another opportunity. Let's try this again. So I posted that, and just yesterday, a father, we were talking. He said, hold on, I need for you to know that the things you're doing really matter. He said, you put that post up about apologizing. And I really hadn't thought much about apologizing to the children. But when you put that up, I thought, man, I don't do that. And I need to start. He said, so now that's a part of my vocabulary. I've learned to just say, I apologize. I shouldn't have handled it that way.
Yeah.
That's a big deal for so many families, whether your children are young or adults.
Yes.
That's huge for people, because most of us don't know how, or will not allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to just say, I apologize. But the other thing you mentioned was the spiritual aspect of it. So we have to make sure that we're not just looking on the surface. You said that at some point, our children act like us, talk like us, walk like us, all of that. And we have to realize that that's that spiritual part. I'm not talking about facial features. I'm talking about what's on the inside of them. That's that part of us that's on the inside of them. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to deal with yourself.
Yes. Yes. I will say though, if you do it, it becomes easier because you can, and I think this is the key for like a good style of parenting. Like, put yourself in their shoes. How did you
Absolutely.
feel when you were experiencing that? What did you want your parent to do differently? So many of us are struggling to just like distance ourselves. We don't want to do what our parents did. And you will go on the other far extreme.
Exactly.
The thing is that you never wanted your parent to go on the other far extreme. You just wanted them to like scoot back a couple notches. And one other thing is also, don't get confused between I'm sorry and I apologize. Because though they're used synonymously, they have very, very different effects to your internal being in the way that you're perceiving what's coming out. If you even say it, I'm sorry, it sort of drags you down. It makes you feel like I am a sorry person. I am a
That's
person
right.
that is of sorrow. But when you say I apologize, it still holds that self-respect and that dignity, but it still encompasses I'm sorry. I am sorry that I was that style, but I apologize for it. So here's my new foundation to grow off of. And
Yes.
so I feel like just flip it. Put yourself in your child's perspective. And, sometimes when you come back from work, it does take a little bit of time to readjust. You're dealing with all these other people, and now you got a little person who's yep, 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 yep. And I get it. That's super fast touch out. I mean, even for stay-at-home parents, it's just like, dude, please give me a moment, and
Absolutely.
it's healthy for you. It's okay to say, may I have a moment before I respond? Because
Absolutely.
if not, you just kind of go in this like cycle of emotions where you're almost out of control with it.
Okay, here we go about emotions. Emotions. All right. So I'm before I pick up emotions, so I'm going to tell a little story about time out for the parent. So um our daughter loves to talk. She still loves to talk. She's grown with her own children. Some of them are grown, but she still loves to talk. As a little girl, when it was time to go home, and we had a long drive home together from school and from work for me, she would hit the car talking before she even opened the door all the way up. It was already, Mama, guess what happened today? I just needed maybe 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. I enjoy silence, the serenity of it all. I like that. So we had to just create this little pact where she would give me 10 minutes of our 30-minute ride in silence. The other, once that 10 minutes, once that was up, she could talk. But just give me 10 minutes. I've just gotten off work. Sometimes it was a tough day, and I just need some quiet time to unwind.
Yeah.
She would watch the clock in that car, honey, please. She would watch that clock. Oh, that last 10 seconds was probably horrible for her. But when the 10 minutes were up, she could go. And so she could talk, at her speed.
Yeah.
So parents, that's a skill that parents need to learn, that it's okay if you need 10 minutes. Set a clock, an alarm to go off, play some music, do something, let them know the 10 minutes is up, and then let them go at it. It's
Yes.
okay. And sometimes parents need permission, I guess, to know that it's okay. Now, let's
Yes.
talk about emotions because all of us have them. Um, yeah. So let's talk about emotions before becoming a parent. Let's talk about emotions now.
All right. So, my personal story, my emotions were off the chart. Let's talk about repression. Let's talk about deep anger, surface level anger, not much sorrow. Sorrow turned to anger. Um, and it sounds like I was just a very mean person, but I wasn't. Based on my experiences, I was protecting myself, I was taking care of myself, I was standing up for myself because to me, I recognized that I needed to do that. And so I taught myself how to do that. I was also very fun and very laughy and, everything else. But I do know that sorrow was not something that I appreciated, and it turned to anger more so. After being a parent, I realized that that doesn't work. It doesn't work because if you want them to be able to express themselves, you have to give them a vocabulary. So I cursed a lot personally. Well, guess what? You can't transfer that into a child, I mean, literally you can. But when it comes down to truly saying, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling upset, when you don't understand how to easily target those feelings because they shift so closely together,
Mm-hmm.
You start to misappropriate a name and a label for the emotions. And I myself misappropriated things and then later had to teach myself out of them. But if you can just identify them when you teach your
Mm-hmm.
child, you can release your anger and your sorrows and your happiness a lot better. You can show them on different levels where you're at. So it's not always mommy's angry. It's I'm frustrated. I'm bothered. You're
Mm-hmm.
irritating me. Now I'm angry. And they can see the growth potential and understand that there are shifts and they can have shifts.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I think it's really important that you understand the difference. Like you can be the same person you were before being a parent as a parent, but I found from my own journey that it was best for me to remove a lot of the hostility and become a lot more loving and compassionate and embrace the love that was being given to me as well to make me a better person.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that was really good. So for me, I was a teenage parent, and I tell clients and audiences that having a baby does not just make you a parent. It makes you a person that had a baby. But for me, a switch had to be clicked on to truly become a parent. I was just a teenage girl who was pregnant. Her dad and I had broken up before I even found out I was pregnant. And once I found out I was pregnant, I called him just to let him know I was pregnant. I thought that was a decent thing to do. I wasn't asking for anything. I wasn't trying to get back together with him. I didn't want anything from him. I just wanted him to know that he had fathered a child that would be in this world somewhere. His words to me were, okay, let me get with my mom and my girlfriend, get some money, and I'll give it to you for an abortion. That was the trigger. that flipped me from being a teenage girl that was pregnant to being a mother. That moment. And I could feel the change. And so I knew from that moment that I would do whatever in my powers to do to take care of the child and make sure her life would be a quality life, joyful, happy, where she would be able to learn and flourish, all of that. So you were talking about your emotions and how we don't normally know the words to use. That's yeah. Usually we get frustrated and we do what you used to do. We just curse somebody out. You know, we get frustrated with the children. Many parents right now just curse them out. But we need to learn how to handle our emotions better. And so you came to one of our events where we used the emotions chart.
Yes.
And in that circle, we provide words to help the parent, the adult, be able to identify what they're feeling. That way, it helps them identify and manage, and it helps the children. So if the parent can't identify and manage, how can they teach their children to identify and manage their emotions? So you did some things though with that emotions chart, and I do want you to share that. I think that was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes. So I did go to the event, and if you've not been to one of Frizelma's events, I highly recommend it. And in that meeting, she did share it. And so I took it home and I made photocopies and I color coordinated it. And so it hangs on the refrigerator. It's laminated. And when I need words, I go and I use it. And if we're having a conversation, maybe my husband and I are talking and he can't find words, we pull it out. And it's not an embarrassing point. It's actually amazing because now you have like probably over 100 words to branch out from just anger, sad, happiness. You can really dive in and explore the depth of what you're feeling. And so, yeah, it's color coordinated, laminated, and hanging on my refrigerator for us to use whenever we need it.
I love that. It's in a public place, like in the home, where
Yeah.
everybody can see it, everybody can use it because the children will use it as well. So it helps us not just lash out, but to now kind of internalize what's going on. And remember, emotions come from triggers. Something triggered it. That emotions chart to me also helps you think about what triggered that emotion, and then in depth, what is that emotion? What am I
Yeah.
feeling? And then how to deal with it. That way you don't hurt other people because of it, once you can identify it and manage it. So, one of the things you did not tell us, Dr. Sam,
Wow.
is what an amazing author you are, and all these amazing books that you have written. Oh my gosh, you all, I've gone to different events with her. Her table is just loaded with all these books, and then there I am, I have maybe three, and I'm looking at her table. So she is an amazing author. In all of that, you try to share with people to help them through different types of I guess emotional areas of life.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about your books and what you're trying to help people through.
Okay. So my books, they are currently totaling at, I believe, 19. There are
Hmm.
journals, workbooks, and novels. What you're going to find are real life stories or a book that's based on a topic from one of my loss of self stories, which is the biracial wounds, alcohol addiction, leaving God, parental divorce, and low self esteem. So you're going to find books surrounding these topics because that's my life. And I'm going to share information of how I thought about it. I processed it. I'm giving thought-provoking questions. I am elaborating on topics that maybe people don't think about. I have a youth book because one girl spoke to me at a book festival one time and just unloaded everything. I guess she and her mom had been hashing out what she had been thinking about inside. And it's just about how to be authentic. The books are to stimulate you to heal these areas. And I know healing is so cliche. It's like, oh, the world's going to fall down if I let all this out. Well, guess what? Your world is most likely still falling down anyways. But I'm going to tell you the truth about what happens is that when you go in and you lay it all out and you cry whatever tears you need to, and you start forgiving and you release, you take away your identity from those scenarios, you're still you. You will have a small, maybe you'll even feel it, void. And then you fill it right back up with love, gratitude, happiness. And these books are here to bring you to that point. And not even that point, but it's a past point of acceptance of who you are, regaining that child essence, which holds everything that you're supposed to be and do and come into this world with, as well as be able to take you into building spiritual and physical legacies. And it harmonizes all of them. And I had one lady, she told me she read one of my novels, 14 Things I Learned About Self-Love. And her family literally asked her, what is different about you? We see something's changed. And I have one book that is biblical, and all of them you're going to find scripture. And also, that doesn't mean that if you don't believe in God, that you can't use it. I mean, just skip the page. The content is there. And if you want to go on a spiritual journey, I'm open to help you to get there too. But all of them are about just getting back to your essence and being the key to unlock the doors that God's asked you to in this world, and using that universal connection and love and communication and authenticity to truly change it by rediscovering yourself.
Wow, that's amazing, because one thing to me, just working with parents, working with children and families, is we have to understand that raising children is where we have the most amazing opportunity to pour all the goodness that's inside of us into another human being. We can share the good thoughts, share the kind heart, share the inspiring words. We get an opportunity to do that with children. And if we don't take the time to heal ourselves, many times we miss that window of opportunity, so to speak. And when we realize it, their childhood is already gone. I tell parents, you have 936 weeks from the time they're born until their 18th birthday. You're singing happy birthday with 18 candles, but did you pour all the goodness into them to prepare them for adulthood?
Yeah.
So, we've got to learn to love ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I think love, but a bigger part is embrace, which is acceptance and love and compassion. It's embracing us, because I actually had one of my one person tell me recently, they said, I am perfect. Or you are perfect too. And I thought to myself, I am perfect. With all my flaws and with everything that's wrong with me, I am perfect. I am perfectly imperfect. And all I have to do in this life is refine myself to become the best version. And every single person who's trying to transition, just as from everything I did, I will tell you this key right here. There's two. One, if anybody's giving you emotion you don't want, say to yourself, I do not have to accept this emotion, and watch the wall go up. You will disconnect from that. And the second key is that Oh, I just forgot the second key. Oh no. The second key was really good. The second key is, hold on, let me think. Oh man. For Zelma, I lost it. Right here, right now. It's gone.
Maybe it'll come back.
Maybe it'll come
It'll
back.
come back. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we are all perfectly imperfect. For an example, live example right here, perfectly imperfect, but we're just being refined. And then for this life, this was it. It's one decision at a time.
Mm,
It's one decision at a time, one
very
response
good.
at a time. That's the second key.
Oh,
Detach
that's
if you need
good.
to, one thing at a time. Don't look at it as a whole. Just take one moment at a time.
Yeah, because if you look at it as a whole, is overwhelming.
Yes.
But one bite at a time, one step at a time, one decision
Yes.
at a time. I like it. I like it. Even when you're dealing with overwhelm at home with the children, still one step at a time, one decision at a time. Okay. All right, Dr. Sam, what I want you to do before we close out is make sure we let people know where they can get your books, where they can find information to work with you, all that you want them to know.
Yes, absolutely. So I would just send you to the main hub, which is www.confidencefaith.com. And there you'll see social media, there you'll find books, there you'll find just contact, whatever you need, services. And if you have questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. There's a contact form, just throw it in there, or email me at hello@confidencefaith.com.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I'm going to close with this so people can get a good laugh. The first time I heard Dr. Sam say that she used to curse, use profanity, curse people out, that threw me for a loop. I laughed because, I mean, such a sweet, innocent face. Surely she didn't curse, So that was hilarious. That was hilarious. And the other part of that, the other side of that coin, people look at me and, I have a stone kind of face, especially when you're pushing the wrong buttons. They would think I'm going to curse them out, and I don't curse. So it's just amazing.
That's awesome. It's so much easier when you don't. Oh my God. It's liberating. To me, it's been liberating.
Yes, it's definitely that, most certainly. Well, Dr. Sam, we thank you so very much for being a part of our lived wisdom and sharing your wisdom with us today. Thank you for helping us understand that it's okay to give yourself permission to be perfect, to be you, to understand your emotions a little bit more so that we don't lash out at the children.
Yes.
And for understanding the love universal connection. Those were some points that I wrote down as you were talking. So you have inspired us. You always inspire me. I mean, come on, you always inspire
same
me.
Here.
I mean, so I appreciate it. Any last words that you want to share with any of our audience?
It's okay if you think you are the worst person in the world before you had a kid, because your child sees you as the perfect person. So stop worrying about who you were. Take it one decision at a time and pour into who they see you are, because deep down, you know you can be that person too. You have to forgive yourself. And that's just one step at a time. Well, that's it.
Oh, very good. Yeah, they see you as perfect, no matter. All right, ma'am. Thank you so very much. Everybody, please check us out at www.parenting911.org. I am Frizelma Lynn. I am the Parenting 911 superhero. All right, lived wisdom. We'll see you next time.